Hi, it's Catherine Jewett from TimeToThrive.com. I work with teens to move them from emotional overwhelm to emotional mastery so that they experience unshakable calm and confidence and rock solid connection. I have had a lot of questions from parents lately about how they can support their teen in the midst of, well, emotional breakdown. So if you've ever been frustrated or felt helpless or been shut out by your emotional teen, this video is for you. The teenage years are kind of fraught, if you haven't noticed yet, with emotional overwhelm. The teen brain isn't just a bigger kid brain or smaller adult brain. It's actually going through massive reconstruction. And our teens are just as frustrated as we are by the emotional overwhelm that's happening. It's really confusing for them as parts of their brain are shutting down and other parts are ramping up. So I'm going to give you 4 steps to connecting and supporting your teen during those big emotional times. Step 1 is to prepare. Now, do not skip this step. In this step, we're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to postpone our own agenda. Now, what I mean by that is we're actually going to kind of metaphorically take out our brain and put it to the side. We need to step back and really be in tune with our teen here. So this is not a time for us to be thinking about our values, what we have to say next, our criticisms and whatnot. Right now, we're really trying to put aside our own agenda and listen for understanding. Okay, so step 2 is to attune. Now, this is tuning into your teen's world, and you're going to try and understand your teen's experience from her perspective, not your own. We're going to be listening for the emotion behind your teen's words. We're going to ask ourselves, what is it that my teen's feeling or experiencing right now? And if it's not clear, then we're going to be asking some clarifying questions until we understand. In step 3, we're going to summarize and reflect back. This is a really powerful way to be there for our teen, to identify and reflect back her feelings and summarize what we heard her saying using her own words can really help her to feel heard and feel felt. So, for example, it might be something you might ask or say, it sounds like you're really frustrated and feel that it's really unfair that I won't extend your curfew. Is that right? And we really want to check to make sure that we're right, because oftentimes we're trying to mind read and we think we know what our teen is thinking and feeling, and we're not correct. So it's really, really important to get this right before going on to the next step. Now, the next step, step 4, is to validate. And this is a crucial part of connecting to your teen. In validating, you're finding some part of what your teen is saying and feeling that you can understand from her perspective. Now, with that, what we're not saying is we're not saying that you're agreeing with your teen. We're not saying that you are going to, condone bad behavior or dangerous behaviors. What we're saying here is that your teen is awesome, and not their behavior, but your teen is awesome. Their behavior is something separate. So we really need to come from this vantage point with our teens and try and see see things from their perspective, see things from their viewpoint. And so that might sound something like, I can see how you'd be anxious given how important this is to you. We always want to be genuine here. If you don't get it, go back and ask more clarifying questions until you do. So real connection requires that our teens feel heard, understood, and accepted. And it's essential that we postpone our agenda and really listen with curiosity rather than judgment. We're going to avoid criticism, judgment, and defensiveness here. That's super important. And we're going to be careful not to minimize our teen's feelings. Now, sometimes we can do this with the best of intentions. We see our teen hurting and we just want to have them feel better. But we don't want to rush into making them, feel better and cheer them up before we've really heard and listened to and felt and reflected back what they're feeling. It's really important. Validation is essential for our teens to feel accepted. So we want to make sure that we understand what validation is and what it isn't. Validation is believing in our teens and accepting her even if her behavior isn't acceptable, tuning in and reflecting to her in a way that genuinely understands her emotions from her perspective, even that if that's not your perspective. Now, what validation is not, again, is agreeing with everything your teen says or does, doing whatever she asks you to do, supporting unsafe or unacceptable behaviors, or telling her that she's right all the time. Finally, remember that our teen's brain is undergoing huge emotional changes right now. You can help her to weather the storm. That said, be kind to yourself and remember to breathe. This stuff isn't easy. If any of this resonates with you, be sure to click below to get a copy of the checklist, 4 Steps to Connecting with Your Teen's Great Big Emotion, and the worksheet that goes along with this video. They'll help you through some of the rough spots. Well, that's it for now. If I can be of any help, just leave me a message. Take care.